Now we will be discussing about overhead line insulators. Generally, electrical insulators are those materials which do not allow electricity. Now, my dear friends, whenever we step out from our home, we observe number of electric poles around. And whenever we approach the outskirts of a city, we can also witness large-sized electric towers. Generally, that depends upon the voltage levels. If the voltage levels are very high, large-sized electric towers will be used, and if the voltage levels are low, electrical poles will be used. Observe this picture. These are overhead line insulators. These insulators are found on the top of an electric tower or electric pole. Coming to the purpose, overhead line insulators provide insulation to the power conductor from the ground. Generally, the conductors will be carrying electrical energy, and those conductors should not come in contact with the electric pole. That's why we use insulators in between. These insulators are made of either glazed porcelain or toughened glass. Now, types of insulators for overhead lines. There are three types of insulators: pin type insulators, suspension type, and strain type. Let us come to this pin type insulators. Observe this picture. This is a pin type insulator. Single or multiple shells are used here. Pin type insulators are used up to the voltage 33 kilovolts. If the voltage is beyond 33 kilovolts, we generally don't prefer these pin type insulators, because for higher voltages, pin type insulators are uneconomical. So for higher voltages, we prefer suspension type insulators. This is a suspension insulator. We can observe here one or more insulator units are connected together and it is hung from the cross arm of the tower. We can call them as string insulators. Each insulator unit is a single disc shaped piece of porcelain. And these suspension insulators are very economical for the voltages beyond 33 kilovolts, and they are also having various advantages. For example, if the wind pressure is high, the power conductor and the string swing together so that the mechanical stress at the point of attachment are reduced. Let us come to this third type, strain insulators. The strain insulators are exactly identical in shape with the suspension insulators. The difference is, in suspension insulators, the strings are placed in the vertical plane, whereas in the strain insulators, the strings are placed in the horizontal plane. Coming to its usage, if there are any road crossings, river crossings, or at angle towers, these strain type insulators are used to take the tension of the conductors. If the tension in the conductor is very high, even 2 or 3 strings of insulators are used by connecting them in parallel. My dear friends, this is just a brief explanation of overhead line insulators. Thanks a lot.